Okay, so again, I'm gonna do that whole shebang again. Okay, so I'm making the nose. I want to use just the shading to create the bridge of the nose, which is this part right here that my glasses sit on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my elliptical marquee. And actually, even before I do that, I'm going to choose my color because I'm going to have to do that eventually. So the way I'm going to do that is I am going to choose my face color by clicking on the eyedropper and then clicking on the face. So now that color is in my foreground color of my swatches. So now I'm going to go to the elliptical marquee and I'm just looking at the curve of the right side of this ellipse. That's all I care about right now. So once I have that and I feel good with it, I'm going to go to my brush tool and I'm going to choose a soft, relatively large, well, in comparison to my ellipse brush. So it's actually not very large, it's only 44 pixels. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to, I'm in the area, oh, I need to select inverse. So I have my ellipse chosen and I'm going to select inverse. So I have marching ants around the very outside and this ellipse. And now I am inside the ellipse, so I'm not going to be painting in here. What I'm counting on is that the overspray, because this is a soft brush, is going to line the right-hand side of that marquee. So I'm just going to do it so you can see. And I'm on a different layer, so if it comes out like absolute crap, I can just delete the layer. Oh, darn it, I didn't change the color. All right, so I'm going back to the color swatch and I wanted to make it just a shade or two darker. So I can see the color I had and the color I'm choosing. I might go a little darker than that just so you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do it again. I'm inside the marquee, just barely touching the line. So you can see there's a color happening just outside. And I just painted my eyeball. So just outside. So now if I get rid of this selection, I have this line right here. So obviously we don't want this there. So I'm going to delete that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my marquee. Now this is a way that I can't, if I just cut this, if I just cut it, this is what's going to happen. So it's kind of sharp right here. It's a little bit too sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step backward and I'm going to feather this. So I'm going to, I can do it right here, but I don't like to because that's going to make it so that every time well, no, I'm not. I'm going to go up to select, modify, and then feather. And I'm going to say 10 pixels. And then I'm going to backspace on my keyboard. And so that kind of keeps this from being a really harsh cut. And also keeping in mind that it's on its own layer so I can move it around. So I'm probably going to move it a little bit. I guess I'll leave it where it was. Okay, so there's one side of my nose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that into the new layer icon. So now I have a copy of that. I'm going to edit, transform, flip horizontally. And now I have the other side of my nose. I think I'm going to rotate this a little bit. So I'm going to edit, free transform. And click the checkbox at the top. And then I think I'm going to do the same thing to the other one, the other side. edit, free transform, rotate, click the checkbox. So here I am with part of my nose.